steps.
Here we go.
Good setup.
There it is.
There we go. Good
Come
setup.
on.
Good break.
Good break.
Stay tight.
So yesterday being Friday, it's actually Saturday today, you're seeing this video on Monday, I had conservative maxing on all 3 lifts as well as back off sets after that. And my week is in a week from Sunday, so a week from yesterday, and I'm just smoked, man. Like, the session went pretty well, and I'm gonna show everything. I'm overall pretty happy with it, but I am just destroyed right now. Like, I just feel terrible. Those overreaching feels are real. So I'm pretty beat up, I'm pretty tired. I struggled to get through my session today. I had my 4th day of benching, I had some back work, I had some hamstring work. It was pretty brutal, but pumped up some motivational videos and we got through it because I'm just dying. But you know what? I'm a week out, and that's the way it's gonna be. That's what happens when you get overreached. It's just the way it goes. It really should be that way. If it's not, something was probably wrong with the programming. So that's neither here nor there at this point. What I want to do is talk about the session and squats. I am very, very thankful to say they went well. I was very happy. I had 500 pounds for a conservative max, and even though I've done 500 pounds before, and I've hit over 500 a couple times in the gym, a 500 pound squat is it's an intimidating number, and especially with my squat depth issues lately, I was just really psyched out about it. I was a little bit concerned, and I've been working with my coach Jacob about some different tweaks we can make with my technique to help with it, and it seems to be paying off. It's working better, it's looking better, and as you'll see, depth looks pretty good. Now, it may not be ass to grass, like holy crap that's so deep, but it should be competition legal. I'm happy with it, it looks good. I'm not gonna complain. So I set up for the 500 pound squat, got nice and warmed up. I had a bunch of my friends at the gym were there, they were cheering me on. That always, really helps motivate me and psych me up. And it just, I can't believe how well it moved. It just flew. It felt so light and it felt so good. It was just a huge confidence booster for me because just, like I said, I've been a little bit psyched out with the squat lately, so it was awesome to hit that number and just feel really good about it. So then I went on to my back off sets after that, which was at 475 pounds for 4 singles. And quite honestly, those actually felt heavier than the 500 did, which that happens to me all the time when I do back offs after conservatives. You let your guard down a little bit, you're not as psyched up. It's just not as easy to just really push through it. So they moved okay. They just didn't feel the best, but they were fine. And then I went on to bench, and unfortunately I made a mistake on bench, a couple mistakes actually. The biggest one that upset me was the fact that I forgot to hit freaking record on it, so I can't even see it. But I had 315 pounds, which is a weight I've done a few times before, and it was a weight that I was very comfortable with. It was, honestly, of all the lifts that I was gonna do on this day, 315 bench was the one I was the most confident with. And it moved slow, really slow. It felt heavy, it felt like crap. And I was getting commands and I jumped the rack commands, so I made that mistake, which is something I gotta keep in mind in the meet. So that kind of played with my mind a little bit. I thought about trying it again and recording it, but I decided that was a terrible idea and just went into my back offs. And those actually felt pretty crappy too. So the people that were watching, they said that my 315 bench actually moved okay. And after looking at these back off sets, it probably did, because these back offs felt like crap too, and they moved really well, they moved fast. So it was probably just one of those things, some days it just moves a lot better than it feels. So hopefully after a proper taper here for the next week, I'll come back strong and I'll be able to nail some big bench numbers. My charts say they got me pegged around 330 right now. I don't know what's gonna be on deck, and we'll just see. So from there, went on to deadlift, and I was smoked at this point. I was just gassed, but they moved okay. I had 505 pounds for my conservative max. It moved fine. It moved pretty well, as you'll see here, and I was happy with it. And then I had to do my back offs at 475. Took a really long time to get through them all, but I got through everything, got everything done, and they moved okay. So I don't know. It was a good day, I would say. It was a pretty good day for conservative maxing, a little over a week out. Everything moved pretty good. So if things can move pretty well now, and I got a taper coming up, should be pretty good. So We'll see. I haven't, by the time I'm shooting this, I haven't actually seen what my attempts will be. I haven't even seen what the taper will look like, but I know Jake pretty well at this point. I'm guessing that early on I'll have a bunch of singles, probably close to my openers, and then triples backed off just a hair, maybe like 5% off of what I was doing the week before. And then we'll probably just rest and dive into the meat. But we'll have to see. I never really understood how aggressive it was with the tapers until I went through this periodization book, which is a book I really recommend, by the way. It's got just phenomenal information in it. And I've been going through this and I just love it. And it talks about how with the taper for an actual peak for competition, it's important to keep the intensity high, but back the volume off. And that's exactly what he does. You know, he keeps my intensity really close to where it normally would be and keeps it high, but the volume is backed off. But even though it feels like crap during the actual taper and everything just feels terrible, it works really well come competition time. So, I don't know, a little extra tidbit for you there, but that's really all I got. We're about a week out. I can't wait to get to this meet and see what happens, but gotta get to this taper first and then we'll go from there, all right? Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video.